I'm a 46-year-old male, and my brother's 48. When I was 20, my then girlfriend cheated on me with my brother. I was heartbroken and angry. I told him that he was no longer my brother. Despite my request, my family didn't cut him off. So I told them that I would never again be in the same place as he was. If they wish to invite both, they should invite him, as I'm the one giving the ultimatum. My daughter's getting married in the spring of next year. In our culture, both parents pay for the wedding 50-50. Unexpectedly, my daughter set me down and told me she would invite my brother and his family. He married my cheating ex. Apparently, she had been seeing them for the last 4 years and had built a relationship behind my back. She even wants her cousin to be a flower girl. I was angry. I told her what my boundaries are, and if my brother's invited, then I will not pay for any part of the wedding. She became angry and told me it's time to let go of the past. I told her it was not her call to make. We argued some more, and she told me I was making her wedding about myself. I told her I would probably not attend, so it would be all about her. She left crying. My ex-wife called me screaming and told me I was a huge idiot and our daughter was crushed. Then my parents called and the same thing happened. I told them off and now I'm ignoring their calls. My girlfriend told me to reconsider and apologize. I will break my relationship with my daughter by not paying and attending. I don't know. I think my boundaries should be respected. Am I the idiot for that? Not the idiot. This is one of those stories where your daughter's decided that she's willing to alienate you for someone that betrayed your trust. It doesn't matter if it was 20 years ago. It only matters that it happened, which means she betrayed your trust. If she wants him there so badly, he can pay the half due. The people around you need a reality check. Ask your daughter if her fiancé cheated on her with her sister tomorrow, moved on with the affair partner, and decided to stay close to him, how she'd feel. It's so easy for everyone to judge you when they're not in your shoes. And in terms of the money, tradition or not, it's yours, and you can do with it as you please. I still wouldn't pay since there's so much secrecy. I bet you'll pay, and your brother will show up regardless. He supports his daughter his whole life and makes it clear his brother's no longer welcome in his life. His daughter betrays his trust and springs this on him while also expecting him to be a checkbook for her wedding. She's a grown woman. She can learn the consequences. It was probably the brother making sure OP's daughter liked him to get another one in on OP. I do not like the brother. Here's a very unpopular opinion. I don't understand why your daughter decided to connect with someone who betrayed their father. How much drama would it have been to let sleeping dogs lie? I know many people won't agree with me, but if this causes an irreparable rift between you and your daughter, being right won't give you much comfort. While I'm fully supporting you standing your ground, just remember if you stand here, you will miss out on her potential kids, birthday parties, and other family events because your family will truly cut you off. If you're okay with that, then so be it. It's been 26 years, longer than OP's daughter has even been alive. I understand being annoyed that his brother's invited, not wanting to talk or take pictures with him, etc. But giving up your relationship with your daughter is cutting off your nose to spite your face. Here's my question, OP. Your brother stole your girlfriend. Do you want him to steal your daughter too? Your grandchildren? If not, stop being an idiot and suck it up for one day. So I, 25 female, work in a pretty big office in a big city. The floor I work on is specifically for a branch of the company, so there are only a dozen or so people on that floor. I bring my lunch every day because I usually don't have time to get up and get food for myself. One of my favorite foods is strawberries, and I always eat them. About a week ago, a woman I'll call Jane, 47, started working in the room about 7 doors down from me. A couple of days ago, I pulled out my lunch and started munching on my strawberries while trying to type an email. Jane knocks on my door and asks me what I'm doing. She says this in a very high-pitched, angry tone, so I'm taken aback, and all I can murmur out is a small, "What?" before she starts yelling at me. She goes on about how I should know she's allergic and that even smelling strawberries can cause her a severe reaction. I cough on my strawberry and rush to put it back in its container, and she gets even angrier that I didn't already know. I apologize and put my food back in my lunchbox. Then I put it in my desk drawer. The next day I went to my supervisor, I'll call Derek, to talk about this situation and ask if we could maybe put a sign up at the entrance of our office floor that tells us what allergies our coworkers have. That way we can avoid mistakes that happened the day before. He looks at me confused and asks what I'm talking about. I explained what had happened the day before, and he sighed and explained to me that Jane had no proven documentation about her allergy and didn't put any allergies on the employee information sheet when she was employed. I sigh with relief and ask if it's okay for me to bring my strawberries the next day, and he says it's perfectly fine. So the next day I brought my strawberries, and Jane goes off on me as I open my lunch and claims I'm trying to kill her. She says this loud enough that all of my other coworkers gather around my door to see what's going on. Jane storms out, and about half my coworkers tell me I'm an idiot for doing that to her and walk out with her. The other half sits there and tells me it's fine and that she did the same thing to them, but with different foods. Examples: carrots, beans, avocado, etc. I'm getting a lot of angry emails calling me an idiot, and I feel horrible. But some of my coworkers are saying I did nothing wrong. Am I the idiot? Your boss cleared you and stated that she didn't write them down or provide documentation. If she would die from the smell, she'd be dead already upon entering your office. Not the idiot. Enjoy your fruits. Next time she comes in, tell her to take it up with the supervisor and HR. You inquired and were cleared to eat them at the office. She smells strawberries from 7 doors down and then proceeds to walk closer to the smell that could kill her to tell you the smell could kill her? She's a moron, but it seems like she's lying based on all the other food weirdness. If she's done this to other coworkers about other foods, I'm willing to bet she either just doesn't like the smell or she likes the drama and attention. There's no allergy involved. Anytime you need an accommodation at work for your health, you must provide documentation. Ask your supervisor if they can send out an email to everyone saying that any allergies must be registered with the workplace if accommodations are needed. Hopefully that'll stop the emails and hate. Also, let them know that this person shouted at you again for just eating your lunch. My husband, 35, and I, 32, are friends with 2 other couples, and we've been taking group vacations for a few years now. We're all teachers except for my husband, who's a welder, so we don't take every single vacation together or anything like that. But for 1 week every summer, we go somewhere as a group. It is a great way for us to reconnect and decompress. I've always left my kids with my parents, and the other couples have arranged their own childcare. We got together this last weekend to decide what we were going to do for next summer. We decided that we were going to Florida. Believe it or not, it is cheaper and less crowded in the summer, and all of us can deal with the heat. But one of the couples wants to bring their tween child. She loves seashells and has heard all about this place. Okay, not ideal, but we decided it would be fine. Here's the problem. We always split the cost of the rental evenly. It's fair. 3 couples, each of us pays a third. So we found a rental with 1 room with 2 queen beds, so that we'll still only need 3 rooms. Not acceptable. On their vacation, they want alone time. Okay, we'll find a rental with 4 bedrooms, but it's more expensive, so they'll have to pay more since they get 2 bedrooms. Cue shocked Pikachu's face. But we always split the rental 3 ways. Well, yeah, because 3 isn't 4. Before anyone says anything, we didn't tell them that they had to pay 50% since they got 2 bedrooms. That isn't what we said. We just expected them to pay the difference between a 3-bedroom and a 4-bedroom rental. Now they're upset with us for burdening them financially because they want to give their daughter an experience. My husband and I don't think we should subsidize them. However, the third couple thinks we should split the bill this one time to keep the peace. Am I the idiot? Now they're upset with us for burdening them financially because they want to give their daughter an experience. I'm sorry, what? If they want to give their daughter an experience, they need to pay. Ask them if they're willing to pay for your kids' trip somewhere because you want to give your kids an experience. Not the idiot. The third couple thinks we should split the bill this time to keep the peace. Nope. Never set a precedent. They'll expect you to adhere to it every time. Stick to your guns. They can stick with one room if they want to split it evenly. In fact, please show them the responses. They have a lot of gall to think everyone should subsidize their extra room. But something else I'd be far more worried about. They explicitly said they want alone time, and it's their vacation. But when you bring a single child on vacation with adults, that child needs to be entertained. There are no other children around. Who's expected to do that while the parents want alone time? Is this also something they expect to share equally? Prepare yourself for a vacation that is anything but child-free. While you dropped off your children to have time for yourself, you'll be watching another couple's child instead. Before I start, I'd like to say I'm a big girl. No shame in that. I love myself just the way I am, and I've been living by the motto, be you, everybody else is taken. Mother-in-law, dear husband's mom, always commented about my weight. Since I got pregnant, she started making more comments while low-key shaming me for what I eat. Whenever I visited, she'd give me a smaller plate, portion, cup, even spoons. She always buys me small-size clothes, even though I'm in my second trimester and those clothes don't fit. My sister-in-law decided to throw me a baby shower after my husband denied it when my sister offered to throw me one. The whole side of my in-laws' family is invited. However, my mom refused to come after my husband's words to my sister, another story for later. I got there, and mother-in-law was in charge of serving food to the guest. All that was served were cakes and juice. I got hungry from talking and I got up to eat some cake. The second I put my hands on the cake, mother-in-law grabbed my arm and said I'd gained enough weight already, and that if I, quote, keep this up, her son would not be happy living with a large walrus. I was shocked. I didn't know how to react, especially since she said this out loud. She looked at me in a sorry, not sorry kind of way. I put the cake down and grabbed my stuff and started walking. Her daughter stopped me, saying that I can't leave mid-party and embarrass her like that. I told her to tell her mom to leave if she wanted me to stay, but she went off and said, "Are you crazy? She's my mom. You want me to kick her out in front of everybody?" So I turned around and kept walking. I called mom to come pick me up and went home. Dear husband came home looking furious. He asked me to explain what I did at the baby shower and why. I mentioned what his mom did, and he started ranting about how I messed this up over something so minor. I told him it wasn't minor, in my opinion, since she literally cut me off food and didn't let me eat when I was hungry. He said that his mom meant well, and that I needed to get rid of this easily offended mindset immediately before I passed it down to our son. He said that cakes are not essential foods, and that this was not a good enough reason to walk out of the baby shower that his mom and sister put a ton of money, time, and effort into. He said I had hours to call and fix things, but I refused. I went to stay with my mom because he wouldn't stop pressuring me to call and apologize for what happened. He kept talking about how angry and let down his mom and sister felt, and called me ungrateful and spiteful for doing what I did. Am I overreacting here? Edit. My sister is infertile and has been for years. My husband claimed that she's become obsessed with the baby simply because she bought me stuff for the baby as gifts and wanted to throw me a baby shower. My sister is a great person, and I have no doubt that she only did all that just because of how great she is and will be as an aunt. My husband kept insisting there was something wrong with her, which led to a fight between them, and he called her a possessive witch. My mom kicked him out, and my sister cut contact with him. The issue got worse with my brother-in-law, her husband, arguing with my husband, not the idiot. So your own sister wasn't allowed to throw you a baby shower, which then caused your mom not to attend. Instead, your husband allows his sister to throw one, where your mother-in-law bullied you. Are he and his family trying to control you? Isolate you from your family? OP needs to be careful because that's exactly how it sounds. Please take cautions, OP. Your situation with these people sounds extremely toxic and dangerous. Don't let your dear husband manipulate you into isolation from your family, because that's exactly what he's attempting to do. This is not a man you want to raise a child with. Agree. Any man that would allow his mother to verbally abuse and deny his wife food and then gaslight and berate his wife for standing up for herself is a massively abusive idiot. This is divorce territory now. Stay somewhere safe. Better yet, make him leave the house while divorce proceedings happen. If I were you, I would get the heck out. You have excellent self-love. Don't let them take that away from you, and protect your child from those people. Heaven forbid he gets a little chubby as he grows up, because then he'll be made to feel like he's less too. But he won't have built up the thick skin it takes to deal with them as you have, and what it does to him could be much worse. I grew up being called fat by my mother and developed a disorder that I still struggle with today. I, nearly adult female, would rather live with my dad, but for school reasons, it's just a lot more convenient for everyone for me to live with my mom during the week. So mostly I'm here to humor my dad. My mom did some stuff during their divorce that I think was crappy, so I don't really like her very much now, but I've been trying to just keep things civil until I graduate. She married a guy with 2 kids, tween male, younger tween female, at lightning speed after the divorce, and the whole merging families thing isn't going well. His kids hate her. I feel somewhat neutral about him and want to be left alone, and the step-siblings and I are okay, but mostly they do their own thing and I do mine. And it's not the happy blended family my mom wanted, and she keeps trying to force it and making it worse. Her husband goes along with her, so basically, nobody is happy in that house. I kinda exploded the hornet's nest this last weekend because I lost my cool about something my mom has been pushing for a while about the stepfamily. She insists on calling my stepdad my dad and the kids my siblings, and gets frustrated that I won't call them that. They're not. I have a dad, and I didn't grow up with these kids. I'm not gonna pretend. I finally got tired of it, so when we ran into some of my mom's and stepdad's friends last weekend, and he introduced me as his daughter, I said, "I'm not your daughter." My mom tried to laugh it off, but the friends looked uncomfortable, and she got mad at me in the car and told me I needed to get with the program and stop being a jerk about this. I told her that he wasn't my dad, the kids aren't my siblings, and if she didn't get with my program, she could choose not to be my mom the minute I turned 18. Big argument. They tried to take my car keys as punishment, and when I told my dad, since the car was in his name, he called and said that they give him or me the keys immediately, or he'd get the police involved. So my mom has been crying and saying I'm an idiot. Stepdad agrees. My stepbrother said he thought it was the best, and I'm right. My grandparents came over and tried to talk me into apologizing and going along with things. My dad says they pushed me too much and got what they earned, but I probably should have just left it alone in the car. I don't think it was wrong, but I don't know if I was an idiot. Not the idiot. You're already trying to be civil with the stepdad and step-siblings. You have a dad involved in your life, and it seems you've clearly expressed that you're uncomfortable calling them dad or your siblings, so they shouldn't be forcing you to call them that or introducing you that way. A selfish woman breaks up her family and tries to make a new one, and then acts surprised when not everyone she betrayed is playing along. Too bad. Your mom could have acted less like a selfish, impulsive nitwit, and none of you would be in this situation. Plus, one of the step-sibs agreed. The one is old enough to see for sure what's happening. You can't force a blend. It must happen on its own. Is your dad dating or married? Ask your mom if she wants you to replace her with the next person he gets involved with because he wants to make a happy blended family. Is she really okay hearing you call someone else mom because your dad likes sleeping with her? Mom is being a selfish idiot, as is stepdad for going along with the charade.